So, hello everybody. This is not a song, just a few tidbits of my knowledge regarding the skills that we require to succeed in our professional lives as well as personal lives. There are a number of skills that are required to do what I just said, but my concentration now in this particular presentation will be on two specific groups of skills called the interpersonal skills and the intrapersonal skills. So both of these come under another main heading, that is soft skills. Let's concentrate on the terms interpersonal and intrapersonal. Interpersonal skills refers to those skills which we require to exercise when we come in contact with other persons in society. Whereas intrapersonal skills, as the name suggests, are the skills which we need to develop within our personalities. So, which are the chief interpersonal skills that we require? Communication, team building, supervising, and counseling. And which are the chief intrapersonal skills? Self-esteem, self-confidence, assertiveness, and capacity to deal with negative emotions. So let's look at them one by one. Self-confidence refers to assuredness in one's own capacities, but for this to happen, we need to primarily have self-esteem, which is nothing but an estimation of one's own powers of judgment and so on. So your self-confidence must be based on your self-esteem and not vice versa. Assuredness in one's own, that is speech shown through assertiveness, is nothing but a speech which is direct, honest, and respectful. And self-esteem, self-confidence, assertiveness, and the last one, the capacity to deal with negative emotions. The three primary negative emotions are conflict, fear, and anger. Again, there are millions of negative emotions, but these three have been decided to be primary negative emotions by the behavioral scientists. And therefore, we should know how to deal with conflict, fear, and anger. Conflict is some state of mind wherein we are unable to decide what we should do and what we shouldn't. This results in either physical conflict with someone, or a verbal conflict with someone, or a conflict within our own minds. We should be calm in all the three situations, conflict, fear, and anger, and try to deal objectively with the situation, not subjectively. Fear is born out of ignorance or incapacity to deal with the situation. So we must keep making ourselves more and more knowledgeable and more capable, so that we come to a stage where we need not be frightened of everything. He who knows all is frightened of nothing, because knowledge is the arch enemy of fear. Knowledge including capacity. And then you have anger. Anger is the result of one's own desires not being met, either by some outside forces or by oneself. So we need to have realistic ideas and not be overly angry. Sometimes being angry on oneself will be of some use, because it helps us to move faster towards our goal, but we should not lose our temper and lose our control over oneself. Coming to interpersonal skills, communication refers to. So communication, team building, supervising, and counseling, as I just said, are the four major interpersonal skills. Communication refers to transfer of messages from the sender to the receiver through a medium called language. Depending upon the direction in which the communication flows, there can be vertical communication, horizontal communication, or sometimes even diagonal communication, as some behavioral scientists have pointed out. Vertical communication happens, as the name suggests, between two levels in the hierarchy of the corporate ladder, between the upper and the lower, and the lower and the upper orders. Horizontal communication, again as the name suggests, happens between colleagues, people of the same stature, whereas diagonal communication happens between intermediary states. A sub of someone speaking to an assistant of someone else could be regarded as being a diagonal communication. So communication. And then you have supervising, counseling. Supervising means looking over all the aspects of a project or a work, right from its inception till its end, and meeting the needs of everyone and everything that you meet in between. And counseling refers to making an emotional outreach to the emotional needs of people and keeping it completely confidential, not leaking any information to anyone else at any cost. So, team building is the most important of all the interpersonal skills. Team refers to a group of people having common interests and working methodically towards achieving a common goal. So the basic 5 steps of forming a team are forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Forming is a phase of team building wherein people hardly have identified themselves with any group, but they have a common goal, they come together. Norming is when they set norms, how the group will work, when will it meet, and so on. Certain norms and rules are formed. And forming, then before forming and before norming and after forming, there is some stage called storming. In this storming session, there's a lot of discussion, debates, and sometimes if things go awry, the whole team itself may be dispersed. But if the team leader is capable, he can move on to the third stage, that is norming. So forming, storming, norming, then comes the real performing stage wherein all the ideas are executed. And after that is done, and during the execution, there should be harmony maintained. There should be no one-man up ship. Everyone works for the team. And finally, the adjourning of the team. That is also very important. Forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Adjourning means bringing the whole work to a formal end, thanking everyone for having done their best, and then leaving. So, in summary, what I spoke just now was on 2 important groups of soft skills: interpersonal skills and intrapersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are the ones which we require to deal with others. Communication, team building, supervising, and counseling are the 4 important interpersonal skills. Intrapersonal skills are the ones which we require to imbibe within ourselves: self-esteem, self-confidence, assertiveness, and capacity to deal with negative emotions. With that, I take leave of you. Hope this information will be made useful by many of you. Thank you.